All right, everybody, it's 1 o'clock by my time, so time to get the show on the road. Welcome to the Zones 33-34 Zoom formation call for May the 3rd. Delighted to see 61 so far and climbing rapidly. Today, you're in for a real treat. You're going to get a sneak preview of the presidential conference being organized by Rotaract on May the 14th to 16th. This is going to be an awesome event. Both Stephanie and I have been actively involved on the fringe with the organization, and it'll blow your mind. The organization, the content, everything about it is going to be fabulous. So without further ado, let me turn over to my incoming director colleague, Jeremy Hurst, to introduce the first speaker. Jeremy, over to you.
Thanks so much, Director Peter. And great to be able to introduce someone who I consider to be a close friend, who I have a tremendous admiration for, a young lady called Alex Ritchie, who graduated in May 2018 from Virginia Commonwealth University with a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering, nonetheless. She begins her master's degree in the health administration this fall. She's a dual member and holds active membership as a Rotarian and a Rotaract, which is phenomenal. Alex is currently District 7600 Rotaract Chair, and she also serves as the Zone 33 Innovative Club Advocate for District 7600. She's a member of Zone 33's foundation team as their think tank chair, where her role is developing training opportunities for Rotaractors to engage with the Rotary Foundation. In June 2018-19, she served as co-chair of the Rotary International Rotaract and Interact Committee. She's been involved in a plethora of things in relation to Rotary and Rotaract over the years. She served as Master of Ceremonies for the Rotaract Pre-Convention in Hamburg, chair of the first ever Rotaract program at the district, the summit and pits in Norfolk, which I chaired and worked with her on, and the program outside of things. And she did a phenomenal job in that. She currently works with the Crossan Family Medical Practice, and she's also a founder and CEO of DuraSafe, a medical device startup in Richmond. So a very talented academically and also entrepreneurially as well. Most recently, she's become a member of something that's very dear to my heart, HAMWASH's key funding development subcommittee, and she works directly with past RI Director John Smarge in that role. She's also had the honor, recently she says, working alongside Peter and Stephanie and other leaders of Zone 33 and 34 as co-founder of the Ascension Rotaract Network and MDIO, working to create infrastructure for the Rotary-Rotaract partnership. She is a true person of action. She walks the walk, and she's here today with her team to tell us about the presidential conference that they'll be delivering at the end of this month. Alex, over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jeremy, for the kind words and for reading all of that. And thank you everyone so much for having us. Happy Monday. I can't think of a better way to kickstart the week than to be here with all of you. We are so excited, and a huge thank you to Director Stephanie for allowing us the chance to give you all a sneak peek, a trailer, if you will, of the presidential conference upcoming. We couldn't be more excited about it. It has been quite the adventure putting this thing together, and the support from Zones 33 and 34 has just been so immense, and we are so grateful. So what we'd like to do, I promise I'm only going to be talking a little bit here, and then I'm going to turn it over to some of our guests who are actually going to give you a little bit of a taste of what they'll be doing the weekend of May 14th through 16th. So before we do that, I wanted to provide a little bit of context on the event, and then Taylor is actually going to walk us through the program a little bit, just so you know what you're getting yourselves into if you sign up. But this is a really special opportunity for our zones. Each year, the president of Rotary International tends to focus in on some specific area of the Rotary-Rotaract world, and this year, President Holger has decided he would like each of his 3 presidential conference series to focus on strengthening Rotary-Rotaract partnership, which is very exciting. I might be a little bit biased, but we are pretty excited about that focus. So he selected 3 host sites from around the world. The first 2 were Brazil and Nigeria. And as our team always says, they set the bar very high. Their presidential conferences were in January. So we are the last ones to go in mid-May. So we are so thrilled to have that opportunity to be amongst those incredible Rotary and Rotaract leaders who have hosted previous conferences. The theme for ours is specifically collaboration through relationship building. So each part of the weekend is designed to model just that. So we have everything from presentations that will be led by a Rotaractor and a Rotarian together. They've been working together actually for the last 8 months, planning, developing, brainstorming, and actually putting their presentations together. We'll also have the chance to work on problem solving within smaller groups. It'll just be a really, really incredible weekend, all kind of funneling back to that focus of building authentic and genuine partnerships. So the idea here is we want to make sure you guys have an overview of how exactly we're going to do that. I will preface by saying that we have extended registration just for you all. We're going to keep it open until May 7th, so you'll have to be quick, but there is still time, and space is limited to the first 1,000 people. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my dear friend, Taylor Huey. She is also the co-director of Ascension Rotaract Network and co-chair in the planning of this immense effort. So Taylor, I turn it to you.
Thanks, Alex. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So hopefully you all can see that now. But as Alex mentioned, the theme for this conference is collaboration through relationship building. So our goal was really to emphasize Rotaractors and Rotarians serving as equal partners. So this is hopefully going to be an opportunity to really engage meaningfully with other Rotarians and Rotaractors. So hopefully it won't be like other conferences where we just sit and listen to people talk. But here I have on the screen the Ascension Rotaract Network website. So there's a tab for the Presidential Conference Series. If you find the link for that, we've linked it pretty much everywhere. If you go on social media or if you go on any of the Zone 33 social media pages, but it's just ascensionrotaract.com/presidential conference. It's pretty easy to find. I will go ahead and scroll down here to this quick agenda overview though. So to just kind of briefly overview the conference weekend, Friday we'll be starting with some optional preview sessions from about 12 to 4:50 Eastern time. So these will be breakout sessions on membership, public image, the Rotary Foundation, and these will be led by the Zone 33 coordinator teams. So those are all optional, but I definitely encourage you all to take advantage of those. They'll give you kind of a sneak peek about what we'll be talking about over the course of the weekend, kind of get your feet wet. Friday at 6:30 Eastern time, so in the evening, that will be the official kickoff of the Presidential Conference Series. So we'll be starting with President Holger zooming in from Germany. And when we were meeting with him, he really wanted to make sure that he was live for this event. So I think his time, it will be probably 12:30 in the evening, but he really wanted to be live for this. So we're super excited about that, and we hope you guys are as well. After Holger presents, we'll then transition into some really awesome speakers and presenters. And actually, we have one of those people with us here today, Sharon Allen, who will be chatting with us in a little bit, giving us a sneak peek of her presentation, is the co-founder and executive director of World Telehealth Initiative. So under her leadership, WTI has developed an innovative model that leverages remote philanthropic positions to provide sustainable medical expertise via telehealth, which I think is super duper cool and definitely relevant in the context of COVID. So Sharon has been selected to serve on the World Health Organization's Digital Health Board of Advisors and roster of experts, in addition to her already very impressive resume in all of her positions. Transitioning into Saturday, we'll be starting at 9 a.m. So depending on where you're zooming in from the world, you might need a little bit of coffee in the morning. I know that can be kind of early. But we'll be starting with our second general session from 9 to 1:30 Eastern time. And we'll start with a special address from former Rotary Peace Fellow Will McKierney, talking about conflict transformation and how that plays into our interactions with Rotarians and Rotaractors, as well as our relationships with the community and beyond. After that, we'll transition into an address from Director Elizabeth Yusevich, talking about open space, which is an approach to having open and inclusive conversations and truly listening and being intentional about listening to all perspectives. So this topic will hopefully be very relevant for that topic and of relationship building, and hopefully we'll be able to use that throughout the rest of the weekend and moving forward. After that, we'll transition into what Alex referred to as the main event. So we'll have those joint Rotaract sessions on membership, public image, and the Rotary Foundation. And as Alex mentioned, those will be co-led by Rotaractors and Rotarians. After that, we will then have our virtual fundraiser called Rotary Acts of Kindness. I will not go into detail about that right now. Ali Fisher will be talking about that a little bit more, so I'll leave it there for now. But then transitioning into Sunday morning, again, starting at 9 a.m., Holger and a team of super duper rock star Rotarians and Rotaractors will be discussing some really, really tough questions. So topics focused on DEI and COVID and issues that we've faced, especially with this very, very unprecedented year. So we're calling this discussion, this keynote address, I suppose, challenging topics to end the most challenging year. So that'll hopefully be a very interesting and insightful conversation. After that, we'll have the Rotary Rotaract Elevator Pitch Competition winners presented, as well as some tips from our Zone 33 team. And then we will transition into what is truthfully my favorite part of the conference. I know we say every piece is our favorite part of the conference, but I think this is probably my top one. But this is an opportunity for attendees to really apply what they've learned over the course of the weekend. So we'll have these collaborative project challenge breakout sessions. So for those attendees that opt into these sessions, they will be divided into teams, and they will get to select from one of 3 realistic challenge scenarios. So these topics will be related to relevant topics like DEI, the environment, things like that. I will warn you, the topics are not going to be easy. We really pushed ourselves to come up with challenges that would be realistic, but also would make you all think. So I'm definitely excited about that. But hopefully our goal was that this will give attendees an opportunity to apply what they've learned over the course of the weekend to an actual challenging scenario, so that they know how to then take back what they've learned to their districts, to their communities, or even to their country, and use what they've learned there. Sunday evening or afternoon, we will be closing with Barry Rassin, giving some inspirational closing remarks to end the conference. So that is kind of a quick overview of the whole conference weekend. Feel free to go to ascensionrotaract.com/presidential conference, and you can read more there. There's also the registration info on this page. But with that, I am honored to pass it over to Patrick Eakes. So Patrick is the Rotary Zone 33 zone coordinator and one of 2 innovative club advocates in Rotary Zone 33. And I personally have the privilege and honor of presenting alongside Patrick for the Saturday afternoon membership session. So I'm truly honored to be presenting alongside him. But Patrick will also be leading the pre-conference membership breakout sessions on Friday morning. So you can catch him there, but he'll go ahead and give us a little taste of what those sessions might look like Friday morning. So I'll pass it over to you, Patrick.
Thank you, Taylor. And it's going to be my honor to be a part of that membership session with you. As Taylor covered, the Saturday opening session, the first part of that day, is going to include multiple inspiring speakers, as well as discussions on the Rotary Foundation, public image, and the one that Taylor and I will be in, which is membership. And of course, we know these 3 areas are the pillars of not only successful Rotary clubs, but also Rotaract clubs. The session that Taylor and I are going to be a part of will be moderated by Gus Lopez. He's the Deputy General Secretary of Rotaract Canada. Really, really skilled young man, a native of Brazil, who is studying in Toronto. And as Gus and Taylor and I have planned this session, the one thing that I've realized is I better be on my game to keep up with the 2 of them. Our discussion will be focused on the importance of empathy in club culture and leadership. And of course, the conference theme of collaboration through relationship building will be reflected in our session as well. Gus is going to guide the conversation on these topics, but we're also going to take questions from attendees. So we're looking forward to that. Again, that'll keep us on our toes, I'm sure. I'm really looking forward to this discussion because I know it's going to reflect Taylor's viewpoint as a Rotaractor, as well as mine as a Rotarian. But probably more importantly, I know that this session will show our collective strong desire to create authentic and sustainable collaboration between Rotarians and Rotaractors. So really excited about that. The last thing I wanted to say, just as the best way I could preview this conference, is that the value of my membership in Rotary has been enhanced and increased by the opportunity to plan this conference with my friends and colleagues, not only the Rotarians, but especially the Rotaractors. And the three Rotaractors on today's call, Alex Ritchie and Taylor Huey, who you've already heard from, and Allie Fisher, who you will hear from, they have just been remarkably thoughtful and professional in leading the planning for this conference. And I know that you're going to see that throughout the conference. So I'll look forward to seeing all of you May 14th through 16th at the Presidential Conference. And I'm going to turn over the presentation now to Sharon Allen. As you heard earlier, she is the co-founder and also currently the executive director of World Telehealth Initiative.
Hello, Rotary community. Today, I just want to share my excitement for the upcoming presidential conference. I will have the privilege of sharing about World Telehealth Initiative, or WTI, and the humanitarian work that we do. Briefly, our mission is to provide sustainable medical expertise to the world's most vulnerable communities in order to build local capacity and deliver core health services. And we do this through a network of volunteer healthcare professionals supported with telehealth technology. Next week, we will just touch on the healthcare delivery crisis that led to the development of WTI. Some say that we have a shortage of physicians in our country, but when we look at the global statistics, the numbers are truly staggering. Half of the world doesn't have access to even essential health services. Well, we have one doctor for every 380 people in the United States. Places on the other side of the spectrum, such as Malawi, where we work, they have one doctor for every 62,500 people. So, for example, there's one pediatric surgeon that tries his very best to serve 6 million children in southern Malawi. And there are only 2 neurologists in the country serving 18 million people. So our technology allows the redistribution of medical expertise from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. We use state-of-the-art telehealth technology to accomplish our mission, which you will likely find to be interesting, but mainly I'll be sharing about our network of humanitarian physicians that power our technology. I'll talk about how we forge respectful partnerships with our host communities and how they are the primary driver of our engagement. They design the programs around their needs, their resources, and their capacity, and then we work alongside them to implement it. Next week, we'll explore how we attract volunteer physicians to our cause. It's beyond gratifying to now have thousands of doctors wanting to join the WTI efforts. And as Rotarians, I know you can certainly understand the call to serve. We've thus far fostered relationships between providers in 20 locations around the globe. And we have to consider hurdles of languages, time zones, even cultural considerations in order to enable volunteer providers and in-country clinicians the unique opportunity to exchange knowledge and collaborate to ultimately care for the underserved. At WTI, we witness these relationships flourishing as doctors from vastly different parts of the world work together and learn together. Some of them have even traveled to the locations they serve in order to meet the colleagues on the other side and to see the communities in which they're now working. We also forge partnerships with entities that are already working in country, but often on a sporadic basis, such as medical missions. WTI can ensure those relationships and support are sustainable by allowing the ability to connect 24/7, whether or not they are on site or in country. World Telehealth Initiative is in a privileged position of orchestrating collaborative relationships and witnessing the power these relationships provide for so many in the world. I'm really looking forward to sharing much more with you on May 14th and imagining what we can accomplish together. And now I believe I'm turning it over to Allie Fisher.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you for being here today. And thank you, of course, for being willing to give your time for the presidential conference. We're excited to have you. So I am going to share a bit about the fundraiser. So I have had the privilege of working alongside Alex Ritchie and Taylor Huey on the programming team for the conference. And then I've also been chairing the fundraiser. So the fundraiser is for the Disaster Response Fund and involves a whole lot of fun. So there will be 4 different concurrent sessions that are running for the Rotor Acts of Kindness session. So there will be a cooking class with an Italian chef and a sommelier. There will also be a mixology session. There will be a yoga and meditation session. And then finally, there will be a TEDx style lightning talks session with several different speakers for those who maybe aren't looking to actively do something, but want to sit back and relax and enjoy and be entertained. And so we selected the Disaster Response Fund because as we all prepare to welcome in the new supporting the environment area of focus, we realize the importance of both being proactive and mitigating climate change, but also being reactive to often the damage we have already caused. And so in the past year and a half or so, there's obviously been COVID, there was the explosion in Beirut, and then there have, of course, been a plethora of different natural disasters. And so we want to be sure that the Disaster Response Fund is full and that Rotarians, as people of action, can continue to react. And then also we'll be very proactive soon on July 1 with the Supporting the Environment step. So as a little bit of a preview for this part of the conference, I'm going to share a video of one of our speakers, but first I just want to tell you a little bit about him. So Kieran Singh is president of the International Storytelling Center, or ISC. Prior to his appointment at ISC, Kieran developed a number of award-winning arts, cultural and human rights programs in cultural centers around the UK and Ireland. Widely recognized for advancing storytelling as a tool for building social empathy and intercultural understanding, he has spoken and led programming at the Library of Congress, the Kennedy Center, the U.S. Senate of Foreign Relations, U.S. State Department, and the Pentagon. Kieran champions his beliefs in the power of human creativity, arts, storytelling, and social justice through his advisory role to UNESCO Scotland, and through his service as a Rotary Peace Fellow. In 2017, Sirah was awarded the Champion of Peace recognition at the Rotary International Day ceremony at the United Nations in Geneva. Kieran firmly believes storytelling not only has the power to enrich lives, but it also holds the key to building a conflict-free society. So without further ado, I will go ahead and share my screen.
Well, my name is Kieran Singh. I'm the president
Well,
of the
we said today
International
was going to be a
Storytelling
trailer,
Centre
so
based
it's a
in
tease. So we'll just have to sign up and watch it on May 14th, 15th, and 16th. So that's okay. That's quite all right, Allie.
Perfect. Thanks, Stephanie. Allie, if you want to drop that link in the chat for everybody. That way you guys can check it out after our call today. But to close out, before we take any questions, I just want to show you guys real quick our registration system and just give you a couple of closing comments here. So the event is open to all Rotaractors and Rotarians. The experience level really does not matter, I have to tell you guys. This conference really is designed to have a universal appeal to every age group, every background, walk of life. We're trying to make sure that it is representative of all of that and that everyone kind of has the opportunity to lend their voice and contribute to the program. So it doesn't matter if you have held a ton of offices or you've got a member who's brand new to the organization, it's worth checking out, we promise. So a couple of quick things. If you scroll down on the website that was just linked in the chat and that Taylor had pulled up earlier, there are some registration instructions. And I have to tell you, you guys are already almost there because you've completed step 1. You've already gone through the agenda with us, so you can check that off. Step 2, you'll just click here to register. It'll link you right over to DACDB. There is, of course, a guest registration for our Rotaractors and anyone external who is interested in attending. And then last but not least, We do ask that you hop over here if you sign up for a Road Acts of Kindness fundraiser that Allie was just talking about and make your donation. This is an incredible total that we're at so far. So thank you to everyone who has contributed. So after that, what'll happen is when we get towards the week of the event, which is only a week away, which is so hard to wrap my mind around, but you'll receive a confirmation email from our team with all of the Zoom links that you need, the official program booklet, so you can read up on all of our speakers and each aspect of the program. We are also here in the interim should you need anything at all. If you have any trouble with the registration, feel free to email me, email Ascension, or anyone on the zone level as well. There's also a really great demo video here where Allie actually walks through it herself, if that would be helpful to have that visually as well. So in closing, guys, before we take questions, we just want to thank you all so much. I have to tell you, I've never planned anything on this scale, and having the chance to co-host alongside Rotary Zone 33 is a true honor for all of us. And I think when I personally think back to what has kept me in Rotary all this time and in Rotaract, it really goes back to those relationships and that true partnership with Rotarians who recognize potential in me and encourage that. So this conference is centered around allowing us to appreciate, recognize, and empower the unique value that we all bring to the table. So can't wait to have you guys be a part of it. But just a reminder, got to get your registration in by the 7th. It is coming up quick. You won't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Alex, and all of the team for giving us a sneak preview of what's going to happen. It sounds incredible. It has been such a joy. Peter and I have really enjoyed working with you and the entire team to watch as you put this together. You know, President Holger wrote a blog back in October of 2020 in Rotary Voices. And I don't know how many of you saw it, but he was writing about his presidential conferences. And he said, I want to showcase the leadership abilities of Rotaractors all over the world so that all Rotarians have a chance to see what they're capable of accomplishing. Oh my goodness, wait till you see what our Ascension Rotaract network has accomplished. So I hope today's sneak preview has given you a glimpse of, what to expect. President Holger finished his blog by saying, no matter what your age or experience in Rotary, the conference is designed to enlighten and surprise you. And won't you be surprised when you see Patrick Eakes dancing like crazy? So I hope you all join us for that. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I'm going to check in with past Rotary International Director David Stovall and ask him if he sees any questions that are out there for our panelists to answer. David, do we have any?
We do have a couple of questions, or one or so questions. Anyone else has any questions, please put them into the chat box now. I really don't know what the deal was with the audio. So many people have my cell phone number that my text was just lighting up with people saying they could hear it, and some people weren't. So, and then Allie tried it and couldn't. So some kind of technical Zoom glitch, I guess. But I do apologize for that. The question that is in the chat box, and Alex, maybe you'd like to field this, is if we're registered already and contributed to the Rotary Acts of Kindness, are we able to switch around from room to room for sessions other than what we originally signed up for?
Right. So that's a great question. Thanks, Nico, for asking that. The answer, unfortunately, is no. So the space in each one is limited, and we're having to send out the links to everyone in advance based on what you signed up for. But I'm with you. I would like to be in all four at once, but that is obviously not possible. So what we're doing, everyone's going to record their session. And then since you guys all have signed up, and if you haven't already, you will, you'll get access to each of those sessions after in the form of a recording for you to watch on upcoming Friday nights this summer, if you'd like. So we will certainly make that possible.
Okay, if we have no other questions, let me just thank our panelists once more for a great presentation. And we're all excited and can't wait for our presidential conference to happen. So with that, let me turn it over to my friend and colleague, the other director in Zone 33 and 34, Peter Kyle, to close us out.
Thanks, Stephanie, and good afternoon again, everybody. Wow, what a great sneak preview. This is going to be awesome. I really do encourage everybody on the call to sign up. spread the word. We've invited Rotaractors from the whole of North America, Rotarians, North American directors. But you have to hurry because it's limited to 1,000. So please consider signing up as fast as you can. So our next Zoom formation call will be on Monday, June the 7th at 1 o'clock. And this is also going to be a very special occasion. We're calling it the changing of the guard. This is the time when district governors are coming to an end of their term, club presidents are coming to the end of their term, and sadly for me, Stephanie is coming to the end of her term. So we need to celebrate. So I encourage you to put June the 7th on your calendar. Make sure you're available. We particularly welcome all DGs, all club presidents, all DGEs, and all incoming club presidents to share in the changing of the guard. And now, as is customary, we finish with the four-way test, and I'm going to invite our good friend and colleague and my classmate, Jeremy Hurst, to lead us in the four-way test. Jeremy?
Four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it
Number one,
Is it the truth?
the truth? Is it fair to all concerned?
concerned?
Will it
Three,
Will it
build
build
goodwill,
goodwill
at
and
a
better
friendship?
friendships? Will it be
Will it be
beneficial
beneficial to all
to all
concerned?
concerned?
You can see that we've practiced constantly. Thank you all. Thank you, Alex, Ellie, Taylor, Sharon. See you on June the 7th, but more importantly, see you on May the 14th through May the 16th.